Now, for me as a kid, again, becoming a people pleaser addict, in my little research that I've done in people pleasing addiction, where that comes from is when the parents do not validate and affirm a child's emotions. That's where people pleasing comes from, not obeying or disobeying. If the parents do not validate and affirm a child's emotions and feelings, that child will find someone somewhere to get their feelings and emotions validated. And so, as a parent, how intentional are you at validating and affirming your children's emotions and feelings? What is going on, EQ gangsters? Hope you all are doing great. This episode is sponsored by Lima Charlie Network. To get more information about Lima Charlie Network, go to limacharlienetwork.com. Got a message today asking about the relationship between first-time obedience in parenting and emotional intelligence. The question came from a perspective and a concern that if you kind of instill or require first-time obedience from your children, that it will somehow kind of erode their will or independence. And there's a meme that's going around that parents want obedient cooperative children and get upset at them for independence and maybe rebellion or free thinking, but then are upset that their children don't have their own drive or opinions or independence or free will when they get older and leave the house and that kind of thing. And so here's my initial response. I need to do some more thoughts on this, but we raised our daughter with first-time obedience. So the first time since she was literally 2 years old, we started this training, and it's been training. And because here was my mindset, our mindset. When our daughter is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and is kicking a ball around in the front yard, and she kicks that ball across the street, if we have not trained her with first-time obedience and want her to have her own independent will and free will and independence and stuff, guess what? She's going to get hit by a truck. And listen, I'm all about independence and free will. In fact, one of the reasons we chose to homeschool is because we wanted her to have a framework of being an entrepreneur, because they don't teach entrepreneurship in 99% of government schools. In fact, government schools, the majority of them train children how to be followers, employees, factory workers. That was the whole origin of the current modern day public school system, was literally to train followers, employees, and factory workers and soldiers that did not have any independence or free will. So here's what's been cool with our daughter. So we trained her since she was 2 years old on first-time obedience. So the second we say her name, she immediately responds with, "Yes, mommy, yes, daddy, I'm coming." Whichever parent said her name. And then she immediately comes with a happy heart. And again, we have trained that in her since she was 2 years old. Now, what's been fascinating and neat is that she is incredibly independent, like since she was a little kid. So is that because we've trained her to have first-time obedience, or is it she's just has a very independent personality? And so I think that having boundaries, i.e. obedience, does not have to remove or impact independence or free will. I want my daughter to have independence and free will within the boundaries and parameters that we set forth, i.e. obedience, because if she does not learn how to how to live and operate within boundaries, she's not going to do very well, I mean, in life, right? Because in life we have certain boundaries and limitations that we have to operate within, and she needs to learn that. I want to make sure she learns that, as a child, while again maintaining her independence and free will. So I think you can do both and, not either or. Here is, and so for example, again, even when she was a little kid, she liked to kind of play by herself, play on her own. And, now, she's a teenager, so she obviously loves hanging out with her friends and stuff. But what's been amazing watching her, this is coming from a people-pleasing, recovering addict, as a parent, as a father, she's more independent as a teenager than I was for most of my life as an adult. And what's great is, so she's got a couple of really close friends here in Colorado. She is more than happy. She's totally free, comfortable making her own decision, even in spite of or in the face of a best friend who has the complete opposite perspective. Just the other day, one of her friends, I love this movie. Oh, I hate that movie. Or, I don't like that movie. And here, why do you like it? Well, I like it because of this. Okay, well, here's why I don't like it. Or vice versa. She may say, I really love this movie. Her friend will say, I don't like that movie. Right? And I love their relationship because they have the freedom to be themselves, have their own opinion, make their own decisions, and neither one of them take it personally. Like, okay, cool, awesome, right? And they're still homies, right? It doesn't impact the relationship at all. And I'm like, wow, can you even, are you allowed to do that, right? Because me, as a recovering people pleaser addict, I was Gilligan, man, as a kid, right? Whatever opinion someone had, I like that opinion. Someone else, I like that opinion. I like that opinion. I would just go along with whatever opinion or decision anyone else in my life had, so that I, again, they would like me, they would dig me or whatever, and I would go along with whatever their thing was. And so, two degrees, right? I did have at some point limits, but for the most part, most of my life has been as a Gilligan. And so to watch my daughter have these independent thoughts and decisions has been amazing. But she still, even to this day, as a teenager, we call her name out. She immediately responds, yes, I'm coming, and we'll come and see what needs to happen. And so there's no drama. We've trained her first time obedience for the last 12 years of her life, and so it has not, the first time obedience for us has not seemed to impact her independence at all. Now, for me as a kid, again, becoming a people pleaser addict, in my little research that I've done in people pleasing addiction, where that comes from is when the parents do not validate and affirm a child's emotions. That's where people pleasing comes from, not obeying or disobeying. If the parents do not validate and affirm a child's emotions and feelings, that child will find someone somewhere to get their feelings and emotions validated. And so, as a parent, how intentional are you at validating and affirming your children's emotions and feelings? Do you do it regularly? Are you intentional about it? How do you do it? Do you do it safely? Does your child or children feel validated and affirmed by you as their parent? And again, and I say this a lot, when I say validation and affirmation of emotions is so important, not just for children, but also for adults. It doesn't mean you have to agree with them. You don't have to agree with someone's emotions and feelings in order to validate and affirm them. They are what they are. So how can you as a parent, how can you as a friend, how can you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, military, active duty, veteran, corporate executive. How can you as a leader be more intentional at validating and affirming the emotions of those people around you? And again, especially in my opinion, as a parent for your children. So anyway, I just thought it was a really interesting question that I got today. I wanted to share that with you all as well and get your thoughts. What do you think? What is the relationship between emotional intelligence, emotions, and obedience? Is there a relationship? Are they mutually exclusive? Is there some sort of connection or relationship? Would love to hear your thoughts on that as well. If you feel like this episode has encouraged you or helped you in any way, please share, review, rate, subscribe. Thank you for all of you that have already rated and reviewed and shared and subscribed different episodes that encourage you. Totally appreciate your support, and love reading the reviews on the different platforms and stuff. Thank you so much for taking 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds of your day to rate and review the podcast, the YouTube channel. And remember, emotionally healthy people help heal other people emotionally. Your emotional fitness and freedom is worth the emotional work and fitness program, consistent fitness program that is required, again, to get your emotional freedom. You are worth it. Your best self is waiting for you on the other side of your emotional and, in my opinion, spiritual freedom. But that spiritual freedom is very closely tied, right? In my opinion, I believe God made us, and God made our souls, and part of our soul is our emotions. And there's just not a lot of people that have been trained on that aspect of our souls being our emotions, how to identify, manage, process our emotions. So thank you again so much for joining us. Looking forward to an amazing, emotionally healthier 2022.